Well, hello, my loves, and happy Sunday to you. I can't wait. I can't wait for this today. So I'm continuing on with my inspiration from my books, and I'm not going to be creating in a journal today. I'm going to be creating on canvas. I'm really trying to just let this process happen and be inspired as I go. I won't continue to do this the entire year. Like, I will do it the entire year, but not maybe one after the other. There'll be breaks in there while I do something else. But right now, thoroughly inspired, and I want to follow that inspiration. And so I want to go over quickly what I've done and my thoughts and what my inspiration is. I just have to turn it around. Look at that. That's my color. Oh, it's so awesome. I'm not exactly sure how this artist did this. And mine won't be exactly the same, but it'll be close, and I'll use this inspiration to create my piece, and I can't wait. So let's talk about what I have done, and then we'll come back and talk about a couple of things and inspiration and all that. Okay. So this is a 12 by 16 canvas. I'm of course working from my inspiration photo, and it seems like a really simple creation, but it's not. The layers, and there's the water effect, whether it's ink or watercolor, or I'm not exactly sure, but it's fantastic. And then the lines, those are all hand drawn in, and I like the variety of it. So even here, so like all of these are white, but then coming down here, they kind of change a little bit, like orange, and then some of them Algerian crimson hue. And so I want to kind of pay attention to some of those details and see, what I would do. There's some burnt sienna in there, and then the soft color down here with the green, which I love that contrast, but not all the way. So, and some of them kind of change in between. So, and then this is real soft as well. So what I've done is I, of course, put papers down because that's my thing. That's my style. That's what I love. That's what gets me creating. So I put papers down with fluid matte medium, and I used my dough scraper to kind of scrape out some of the wrinkles, because I'm going to want to have somewhat of a flat surface, but not too flat, because I like the texture of the paper. So we always are infusing ourselves when we're inspired by someone else. I don't want to do that inspiration exactly. I want to make it my own. I want to take what I love and infuse that into what I'm doing. Okay, so and then so I put my papers down, and then I came back with a bunch of numbers and letters stencil, bold numbers, large block font, numbers grande. Sometimes we run out of ideas for naming our stencils, and then numbers jumbled. And so those will be on sale this week. And I know that these will not show up, so I stenciled over with all of those and I used raw umber. And I know that these won't show up, probably, maybe bits and pieces of it. But I know that I want to bring back some numbers in this piece, because that's another thing that I love. And I wanted to try out I wanted to see what it looks like, the size, shape, different things like that. Do I want numbers? Do I want letters? Maybe I want both. And so all of this is just part of our process of getting to the final piece. Nothing is ever permanent, and we can always change our minds. And that's why we create and how we create. Okay, so after I stenciled my numbers and letters down, I came back, and you saw me mix, or will see me mix, Algerian crimson hue with gesso and Titan Buff. And I'm just using, this is an old Hobby Lobby brand of Alzerian Crimson Hue. So I don't know, but it is the right color. And so I mixed it super, super light. I first put down a coat of the Titan Buff, real watery, with a very wide, yummy, sketchy brush, which is what I'm going to use throughout this piece for my design. And then once I put that Titan Buff down and watered it, as it was watered down, then I came back with the mixture that I mixed and just did my kind of striations all the way down. And I'm thinking that, this layer here will be similar to this layer here. But I wanted to kind of get a feel for how I might be layering, and that kind of watery first layer is probably a key to getting some effects that are similar to what this artist is Miriam Seo, and she's a graphic artist. So I'm 100% inspired and want to kind of create my own version of her work and just play. And that is all I've done so far, and we will see where this goes. I am not exactly sure how I will create these effects, or if it will even turn out at all similar or not. But what I am grateful for is the inspiration to come to the table and create. In the book, and let me pop back over here. So here in the book it says the art of storytelling, and then right here it says an unimagined experience. And that might be the words that come into play into this piece, any of those. I'm not exactly sure yet. But I got some comments this last week that some of the things that I was creating weren't necessarily my style, and I should do some of the older stuff, and which is fine. Everyone's entitled to have their opinion. But I want to re-emphasize the importance of play and the importance of experimenting. Like I say in our membership, with the membership students, with our insiders, I say try everything. We do a wide variety of different things within the membership, and I always say, I know it may not be your thing, an abstract, a floral, a landscape, whatever it might be, but try it anyway, because there's always something that you learn in the process that you can then put that in your toolbox for your creations, for your style. And maybe you decide, I didn't really like that. That's more information as to how you find what you love. And so you have to try everything and experiment and play and all of that. That helps us grow and be better artists. And part of that story of artists is the art of storytelling. And when we're journeying through this, like the last few months when I did this series on being underground and not having any inspiration to having inspiration, I'm telling a story. I'm telling my story. That's what we do as artists. It's the art of storytelling. And so we tell our story within our pieces, whatever that is, whether it's a simple journal page or a 12 by 16 or a 48 by 48. We're telling our story in the season we're in. Every artist ebbs and flows. Some are darker days, some are lighter days, and that's truly reflected in their work. And so I just want to say that's why I'm journeying in all different kinds of areas this year. One, my word is curious, and to let go of fear and try new things and try new ideas and all of those kinds of things. And it's so incredibly important as we grow. And I did a piece of art a couple days ago that talked about being childlike and how, as we're children, we're all artists. And something happens when we get older. We were told it wasn't good, or we should stay in our lane and create the same things, or whatever it might be. But we need to keep that childlike curiosity to continue to grow. Continue to grow our soul and our spirit and our imagination and our skills and our tools and our ideas, and think outside the box. So if you are one of those ones who had questions, and maybe you didn't even say it, that's okay. But there's a reason why I do what I do. And we have to be willing to step outside of our comfort zone and try new things. Otherwise, we never grow. We continue to do the same things over and over again. And while doing the same things over and over again is good, because that's mastery. That's how we master a technique. However, getting new ideas and not being stuck and not being in that place of feeling like I have no idea what to do, this is what you do. You experiment and you play and you have fun and you have joy in the process, and we do our storytelling. And what happens in that process is that those other words on the other page, there's an unimagined experience that happens when we are playing and telling our story, playing with where we are in our season. And so I hope that encourages you to play, to try everything, to show up and just take a page and do the best you can to create it. That's how we learn, that's how we grow, and that's how we tell our story. All right, my loves, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I hope it's restful and peaceful, and I hope that you always, always know that you are loved.